Hello, good afternoon. We are here with Eliab. Who are you? And what tribe are ye from?
Thank you for this interview. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam salam.
I am Eliab, the son of Jesse, of the tribe of Ephrath in Judah, Bethlehem.
Okay. And what can you tell us about Samuel?
Samuel, he was a great prophet. I remember when he recalled us all to my father's house, saying he was looking for a certain man. I stood there tall, taller than them all, having my girds loined with strength for the battle for King Saul. But he said that we shall not sit until one who is missing, little David, should be recalled upon us. And then he arrived, little David, from watching the flock, the little sheep. He looked at me and he said, surely this is the one, strong and powerful. But he passed me by. He said, the Lord looks at the inward of the heart, but not the outside. To my scorn, he passed my other brothers, Abinadab, Radai, Ozem, all of them. He went to the youngest, the sheep watcher, the flock watcher, little David. And he said, this is the one. I could not believe my eyes. Abakodesh.
What happened?
He got his horn of oil and he anointed little David in front of us all. That should have been mine. I was the firstborn. I was the tallest and the strongest.
And what about the valley of Eliab?
Ah, yes. The valley of Elah. The Goliath, the big one, the Philistine, the uncircumcised one, was there 40 days and 40 nights, calling us dogs and swine and making fun of our Lord, Abakodesh, Elohim Adonai, saying he will challenge one for one in blood death conqueror to fight to the death. Me and my men were so afraid. I was afraid. I had a family, a wife. He was strong, armor weighing more than 400 shekels of iron, with a sword as big as a beam, powerful in strength. And here comes little David, saying, I bring you roasted grain and cheese for the commanders. And I said, little David, you've only come for you're conceited and prideful just to see us in battle. He said that he did nothing wrong, but he went and talked around to the men to encourage them. I'll never forget what happened next. King Saul is offering his daughter, whoever could stand up to the Goliath of God, the giant. And my brother stepped up and he said, I will take him in the name of the Lord. And I said, little David, you are tiny. You watch sheep. You play on your harp. What do you have that we do not? We are strong men. But he said, I come in the name of the Lord. And he donned the King Saul's armor. But it was too heavy for him. He looked like a little lean man with big giant armor. And he was waddling about the heavy armor. He took it off. He said, it will slow me down. I will go with just my sling. He used his sling before. One day he came up all scratched up, like bear claws. And we said, David, little David, what has come upon you? He said that something took one of his sheep, for he counted them hourly, day and night. He said, a wolf had taken one of his lambs, and that he would not stop until he recovered that lamb. That is when I knew that he was set apart from us. It was just a lamb. Just go buy another one. It is like 8 shekels. He said, no, I fetched that lamb with my slingshot, with my shepherd's staff, and breaking the teeth and the jaws of that wolf, I received that lamb and brought it back on my shoulders. He was small, but he was brave. He had the love of Allah, of Elohim. So he goes forth in the valley of Elah. And on my man us watched. I was a little afraid for my brother. He was not yet a man of war, but the giant of Gad, Goliath, he was trained up from a youth. He knew how to war with his hands, with sword, with armor. So I was a little afraid, but we could all feel it, something in the air, something mystical, something divine. Something was about to happen, a battle between little David and that giant Goliath. And they fought. David was fast, but Goliath was strong. And they went forth. And little David got his slingshot. We could hear it in the wind, and he snapped it. Crack! Hit him right in the dome, right in the forehead. And that giant Goliath fell down, and dust swept up as his body fell down. And David grabbed his sword, and he just cleaved it up in the air and smote the Goliath, and his head cleaved from his shoulders and picked up the head. And the Philistines' army, their spirit was broken. Their knees were weak. They knocked like weak arrows, and we all charged and slew them from midday. And that is when we knew that something great was upon little David. I was jealous. Everything that I've worked for, my career, my promotion, little David snatched from me. But at the same time, I could not do what he did because of his faith was unlike mine. From then on, he went to go and make a name for himself, slewing all the different tribes. It was amazing. It was promised, just as the prophet Samuel had said. I remember something when little David would play his harp for King Saul and put him at ease. Never did I think that he would take over. And yes, I have riches and I have wealth, but those should have been mine and my glory. But to say that we are of our father Jesse would be proud. I'm proud of him, but at the same time, that should have been me. Well, thank you so much for your time. I must go feed and tend to my camels.
Thank you for your time.
Walaikum assalam. Peace be upon you.